Hey, hey, hey! I hope you're having a marvelous day. It's your favorite remote work enthusiast, Delilah. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys 3 companies that are known to have numerous temp jobs. Now, if you're like, what's a temp job, Delilah? Or why would I want to do a temp job? Don't worry, I have a handy dandy visual aid, and we're going to answer all those questions and then some. But if you are someone who is interested, then I'm going to share with you 3 companies that have multiple. And this was actually inspired by a question that I received on one of my lives that I did the other week. So not last week, but the week before last, I went live 3 days in a row. And it was in one of these videos here that someone in the comments asked, do you know about any companies that hire you to work from home for temp jobs? My mind kind of went blank. And, I immediately sort of went to like, well, there's a lot of temp agencies in your local area that can hook you up with a job. But the more it sort of mulled over in my mind, I said, oh, I know. And so sometimes stuff has to marinate a little bit with me. I immediately knew 3 companies that I could recommend that always have temp work from home jobs. So thank you to whoever asked that question, because this might be helpful for a number of folks. And by the way, if you want to catch these lives, you can go to my channel and the replays are available. You just have to click the live tab. YouTube separates videos from shorts from lives. So check out all 3 because I've been active in all 3 areas. But yes, we're going to get into the details. But first things first, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and you tap the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of these hot work from home opportunities. I share the hottest work from home leads every single weekday on this channel. And if you want a work from home job of your very own, then you will make sure you lock it in and turn on all notifications so that you never miss out. And on that note, we are ready to jump in. Okay, so I have my handy dandy visual aid because why not? I'm a little geek like that. I like my visual aids, okay? So temp jobs, what are they? Okay, temp jobs are roles that are typically for a predetermined period of time. You'll typically know the beginning and ending of the temp job before you accept it. And sometimes temp jobs convert to full-time roles. However, it's best to go into temp jobs expecting the role to end. So if you are someone who, is interested in doing a temp work from home job, that's one of the key pieces of information for you to know, because sometimes we might think, hey, a way for me to weasel my way in is to accept this temp job and then, it'll turn into a full-time thing, but that's not always the case. And if you're thinking to yourself, Delilah, this is sounding a whole lot like a seasonal job, there pretty much is total overlap with seasonal and temporary jobs. The only main difference is seasonal jobs typically are around a certain season or event. So for example, at the end of, I think it was like September of last year, I shared a Victoria's Secret work from home job. That's an example of a seasonal job. The reason why it's seasonal is because it was to gear up for the holiday shopping season. Another example of a seasonal job that I've shared is the job from Working Solutions with the tax client. That job is seasonal because we know tax season is from, January such and such to April such and such, roughly. So that's an example of a seasonal job that is also technically a temp job. Temporary jobs typically don't revolve around certain events going on the calendar. They're just available for a set duration of time. So yes, seasonal jobs can be temp jobs and, vice versa, but temp jobs typically don't have anything to do with what's going on with, the holidays or certain event. Now, temporary jobs are a good fit for the following folks. If you are someone who doesn't really have a lot of experience or little experience, you may be able to find a temp job that can help you gain experience in areas to help you be more employable for longer standing roles. You could also be a good fit for a temp job if you are interested in trialing remote work. So maybe you're someone who doesn't necessarily have to work. Okay, it's a choice for you, and maybe you want to try out working from home. A temp job is a great way to get into something knowing when it's going to end, and when you're all done with it, you can decide if you want to move forward with remote work in a more long-term way. Another group of folks who temp roles are good for are retirees. Okay, so if you're a retiree and you've already done the work thing, you already done the career thing, you might still need to supplement your income, or you're just tired of the routine that you've created outside of having a job. You might want to go back into the workforce. Temp jobs can be a way to kind of keep things exciting and fresh. You do one assignment, you do it for a few months, it ends, and you move on to the next thing. It's a fun way for you to continue to keep your mind sharp, to get experience doing different things. Maybe you always wanted to try a different kind of job, make money, okay? There's a lot of reasons why retirees still want to work. And I know this firsthand because my parents are retirees. For the longest, could not understand why my dad wanted to go back into the workforce after having retired twice, okay? And I get it now. I totally get it. So temp jobs might be good for you if you're a retiree. Job dabblers. This is a category of folks who you might not have to work, or maybe you do have to work, but you find yourself getting bored easily and you like to keep things fresh and new. A temp job might be for you. I think we all know someone who keeps them a new job. Okay, every time I get on Facebook, I promise I see this girl talk about, got the job, y'all. And I'm like, but didn't you just get the job like a couple weeks ago? Well, job dabblers. There's some people who do not like to do the same thing for the same company over and over again. They want to switch it up. So a temp job might be for you. And then for people who are in different seasons of their lives. So kind of using my parents again, this time, my mom, I'm from a military family. A lot of times military families will have like one parent who stays at home and sort of holds the homestead down. At different points in time, my mom would work, she'd get a job, and then there was other times where she was stay at home strictly. So you might be a military spouse, or maybe you're stay at home mom, and maybe your kids just went off to school and you're trying that out, and so now you have time on your hands and you want to bring some income into the household, whatever your situation might be, but you can identify yourself. So I'm just giving you guys examples, and by no means is this an exhaustive list, because I'm sure you can think of another type of person who temp jobs would be a good fit for. And then tips for temporary jobs that I can offer. You want to document everything you do so that you can add it to your resume, and you want to do your best work and make your best impression, because on the off chance that there is a full-time spot available, you would be the person they'd look to take on that role. But just keep in mind, again, temp jobs are temporary, and they have that name because that's really the nature of them. So don't expect to go into the job, do a great job, and then they say, okay, we're going to make something full-time or permanent for you. Know that it's going to end, and then be pleasantly surprised if it doesn't end. So that's what I mean by understand it is what it is, and you want to have a game plan for what you do after that role ends. So always have a backup plan and never put all your eggs into that basket expecting for them to extend the role. And that reminds me of a time when I was working at a company. I won't say what company because I never know who watches my videos, but I remember there was these ladies who I'd always speak to, and we'd chit chat and all that, real nice. And I remember one day they were like packing up, getting ready to go. And I was like, what happened? Where y'all going? And she was like, oh, this was just a temp job. And she understood it 100%. Like, I knew going into this when we were going to be done with it. The other lady kind of had more of the attitude of, I was hoping that they would keep us on. And she was like, girl, she knew what it was. So I tell you that to say, go into it expecting it to end when they say it ends. And that's my best overview of temp jobs, just to give you guys an idea. So let's get into the 3 companies now. Okay, so the first company that I'm going to share that has temp positions, and they have them all the time, is CIGNA Healthcare. Now, I've shared CIGNA many times on my channel, and one time I did point out their temp positions, but I don't even remember what video that was. It was sometime last year, and I've got a ton of videos, so I'm going to point them out now. So if you go to cigna.com and you scroll down here and you click on careers, at the top left, you'll see where it says areas we hire for, click on contract job opportunities. When you click on that, it's going to take you to the temp jobs portal, and they have a lot of information about their temp positions. And so you can read through all of that. Now, this company does talk about transitioning to full-time. So it says many of their contract opportunities have the ability to transition to permanent roles. So CIGNA is specifying that, but again, don't expect that for all temp roles. And they have flexible work arrangements, and then you may be eligible for benefits as a temp worker with CIGNA. So let's go to the Apply Now button, and from there you can see what roles they have available. And so, on the left-hand side, if you just wanted to scroll through everything, you could do that. But, we want to save some time, and let's type in remote and see what happens. I know they have remote right there, but I'm going to type in remote and hit go and see if it makes a difference. So 14 openings available. And then let's see if we type it in over here, if that changes the results that they give us. 10. So that's why I sometimes like to just type it in over in the keyword section versus the location section. Okay, and so for example, if we were to take a look at this lead, I know it says Texas, but I always encourage y'all, read through the leads just in case they might mention it's available elsewhere. And if you read through it, look what it says. It says candidates for this position can be sourced from across the US, as this position is 100% remote. So it does not matter if you are in Texas. As long as you are in the US, you're good. So that's why it's always good to just sort of peruse a lead, okay? And you can find a lot more opportunities. Sometimes, the location is a location, but you never know. So this, for example, is a temp role that is available US wide. And this is for a client account support analyst. You would want to read through it to see if you have the responsibilities, but they need you to have data entry experience. So it looks like this is going to be a role that, requires you to have some sort of typing skills. And they tell us the schedule, they tell us the pay. They don't mention the beginning and ending of this role, but that's something that you would likely find out once you get into the courting process with the company. So after you've applied and they call you for the next steps, they would likely tell you at that, very first interaction, hey, are you cool with this scope of time, before you even get down too far into the process. So you can see there are other opportunities here. Let's just click into one more just so we can see what else might be available. Okay, IT learning advisor. Just curious to see what this one is. Okay, so this one tells us this is a 6-month contract role. Okay, and what kind of experience do you need? Okay, so you can see that. And this one pays up to $44 per hour, and you get benefits. But where does it say you have to live? Now I see it says Houston, but I wonder if it's going to tell us maybe it's available US wide. I don't see that, but it's possible. The worst that could happen is you apply and they tell you it's not for your area. So that's actually really awesome. If you're in Texas, then we know for sure this works for you, but I don't know if this is a US wide thing like the other one was. So this is CIGNA, you guys. CIGNA offers temporary positions. I showed you how to get here and how to find them. Let's move on to the second company. The second company that I will share is a company called Robert Half Talent Solutions. Now, if you want to check out their Glassdoor, and you can check out the Glassdoor for all 3 of these companies, they have a lot of information. There's over 10,000 employees. They've been around since 1948, and they are based out of California, and they have really great reviews. Now, what this company specializes in is, outsourcing talent, connecting companies to talent, and therefore they have a lot of temporary positions, and they have these roles in a number of areas. So, CIGNA is a healthcare company, and you saw what kind of roles they had. Robert Half, bunch of different opportunities in addition to, the type of roles that we may have seen at CIGNA. So you can check them out by going to their homepage. And then from there, I'm going to just leave it blank and hit this magnifying glass. Let's do that. And then you can toggle this for remote jobs. And then maybe you can even type in a keyword that you're interested in. So I did that for data entry. And when I did that for data entry, I saw that they had a number of like data entry or data entry-esque type roles. So for example, this one is out of Texas. We can click on it and see, and you can see the requirements that they have listed right here. Nothing too crazy. Everything looks typical. And this is remote. And do they list the pay for this position? Let's scroll to the bottom. So this one does not list the pay on the lead, but let's go to another one. This one does list the pay. So this one's out of Ohio, anywhere from $15.20 to $17.60. And we can see the requirements that they have. So if you're in Ohio, this one would work. Okay, let's see some other ones. Colorado, California, a legal word processor. This one is up to $32 per hour. Let's take a look at this one. So hiring a remote, very part-time word processor for our established law firm client based out of San Francisco. Okay, it's fully remote, rolled on a part-time basis. All right. And what would you be doing? Okay, word processing, legal, that kind of stuff. They don't really get into too many details here. Not a whole lot of details, but we see, these are temporary contract roles. Okay, so you can have a lot of fun with this. I wanted to just show you the gist of it. If you're looking for something different, then you can, just go up here and do your own search for something. And of course, just make sure you toggle it for remote. And if you want to just make sure that you only see things that work for your location, you can even make it to where you only see your location. So you can do that up here too by typing in the state, or you can do that down here with the location. So let's move on to the third and final company that I will share. All right, so last but certainly not least is a company called Kelly Services. This is a company that also hires temp positions in a number of career fields. So if you want to find jobs, you can just click on Find Jobs from their homepage. And then from there, you can search for jobs in the US or international jobs. You can select which country you want to see, what opportunities they may have. And then you can actually work at Kelly Services and find jobs there. But if we want to see what kind of temp roles do they have for the US specifically, we can click on Find Jobs. And then from there, we want to toggle remote. And then from there, we can see what do they have that is temp. So right here, temp position or temp to hire, and even in, part-time if that's your interest. But, we want to click on temp. So I'll toggle those too. All of these are temp positions. And from here, we can, put it even further. And Canada is involved in this too. Didn't want to leave out Canada. So they have the US and Canada under the same sort of search that I showed you how to do. And you can select these leads, look into them, see if they work for you, and apply from there. They have an English-Spanish language interpreter position that they're hiring in a lot of locations for. Let's see, do they have data entry? I don't know. We're going to just type it in and see if they have something like that. Okay, they do have a data entry specialist. Okay, not everywhere, but for some locations. Okay, and this is, something more technical, professional relations payment specialist in Tennessee. So that might be like a heavy data entry type role. And remember, not all data entry jobs go by the name of data entry. Okay, if you watched my ultimate data entry video, which I'll make pop up right here, then you know that plus some other fun facts. So make sure you watch that if you are interested in data entry. But as you can see, I'm just scrolling through, you can see what they have, but these are companies that offer temp positions. And they also tell you on here for most of the leads, how much these roles pay. So there's plenty of job opportunities for y'all to take a look at. You can find something that works for your location. And of course, these companies are always updating what they offer. So don't get discouraged if you don't see anything right now and a temp job is something you really want. You could come back here, every day, every other day, and they would have something new for you. So check out these three companies. Just to recap, Kelly Services, Robert Half, Talent Solutions, and then of course, CIGNA. And I will leave the links for all three of these companies in the description box. But wait, there's more. If you are ready to work from home and land a work from home job in 2023, then you need to attend my workshop, the Ready to Work from Home workshop. If you're watching this before it happens, we will be meeting live Wednesday, March 29th at 7:30 p.m. And we're going to be learning how you can get started working from home. So we're going to go over the critical first steps that every remote job seeker needs to take. Then we're going to talk about your home office and the equipment that you need to be work from home ready. We're also going to talk about how you can create the best remote resume to land online jobs. And then we're going to talk about how you can identify and avoid online job scams. So this really is like your get ready to work from home starter pack. If you want to make working from home happen for you, then you need to attend this. And if you happen to be watching this after the workshop has happened, there most likely will be a link in the description box for you to watch the replay. So whether you're catching it live or after the fact, you want to watch this workshop in its entirety because we're really going to get into some things that are going to help you get hired. And all you need to do is put in your first name, your email, and hit register now, and you will be on the list for attending the workshop. So I sincerely hope you come. I can't wait for this workshop. This is going to be awesome, and it's going to be live. So can't wait to see you there. And the link is in the description box below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.